Is Karen Gillan our next Mara Jade? Wah, wah. We're going to talk about that today because we're going to do a review of her movie from a couple years ago on Netflix called Gunpowder Milkshake. It's going to be a bullet-ridden day today here on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Good morning, everybody. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Bosser, along with the one, the only, Mr. Mike Shanks, and we are excited you're here joining us here on Two Geeks and a Microphone. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
We are excited that you're here with us. You know, a couple of I guess it was only like 3 weeks ago. We were talking. We brought the name Karen Gillan, and we were like, "Oh, I wonder if she make a good Mara Jade." And then we had that discussion. I said, "You know what? I saw this movie, and Gunpowder Milkshake, and so Mike was gracious enough to say, "Hey, I'll watch that movie." And so I rewatched it myself. And so we're going to talk about that movie, but really in the context of, could she be the next Mara Jade and why? I know there's rumors out there circulating and kind of a thing, but we just thought it'd be kind of a fun discussion to have. So make sure you guys comment, ask questions, have discussions and stuff. And that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to hit right into it because we have a jam-packed day. A lot has happened this week. I know CinemaCon was last week and trailers galore have been coming out. And so I shot some to Mike, and he had some comments. And so we are going to chit chat and talk about that today. So Mike, anything else in the intro you want to chit chat about?
If I could reach my Mara Jade action figure right now, I'd grab her, but I can't reach. She's way over in the corner. I can't reach her right now. I should have thought of that before this episode started, and I could have had Mara Jade here with me for this. No, other than just the fact that I really think that Disney or Lucasfilms should be looking at Karen Gillan to play Mara Jade. I still stand by that choice. I think that would be a great choice. Mm-hmm. It could be fun to just delve into other ginger actresses that we think might make a good Mara Jade other than Gillan. I keep saying Gillian, but right. I know Karen Gillan from Doctor Who.
Yep.
That's where I was introduced to her as, and I loved her in Doctor Who. I thought she was fantastic, and I think she is starting to make that turn towards a quote unquote action star. So yeah, we'll get into that.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Well, hey everybody, we're going to start hitting the geeky news. All righty, everybody. Here's the dealio. So Mike has got a list. Very exciting.
It's either feast or famine when it comes to geeky news. And this week was like a Thanksgiving feast. Oh my gosh. So like you had sent me a trailer earlier this week. I was like, okay, that's great. And then I had news of one other thing, and then all of a sudden I got news of another thing, and I was like, oh wow, we got geeky news this week. I'm excited.
We sure do.
So I figured we'd start it off. There was an announcement earlier this week. We finally got a title and a release date for Spider-Man 4. So the new title will be A Brand New Day, and the release date is July 31st, 2026.
Right on.
I thought it was interesting that they're calling it A Brand New Day. And come to find out, there's some controversy over that. There's some fans who are confusing it with the graphic novel or
Series.
yeah, the series.
'Cause we did a show on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We
I
did.
thought so.
You and I had neither one of us had read one Spider-Man One More Day, and we'd been told that Spider-Man One More Day was like the least favorite Spider-Man story in like all of Spider-Man history. So you and I decided let's read it and let's tackle it, and
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that story.
It wasn't that bad.
I I like it. I
Right.
like the way it ended. I thought it was good. But some
Yeah.
people are getting that confused. And apparently there was a follow up to that story that was called A Brand New Day. So I kind of think that's where they're going with this, because Spider-Man 3 kind of ended similar to One More Day did, the way One More Day did.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them kind of kicking off with A Brand New Day. Of course,
Yeah.
I have not read that storyline, and maybe we should delve into that for the show before this next movie comes out.
Yep. Real quick. Nobody for anybody's in the house. Says, hey,
Hey,
all.
good morning. Oh, speaking of that, Rippaverse has released another new book. They're delving into their space fantasy. I actually forgot to include Rippaverse in the
Yeah.
news too.
Zaylan?
Zaylan,
Is
yeah.
that what it is?
And I don't have the cash for it. Right?
I know. It's like all of a sudden it was like, okay, I could space out the cash for this one or this one or this one and this one. I thought, okay, now I've got to try to see, you can say the money, get Blood Ruth. And then it's like,
my Blood Ruth. I got that.
boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's like all of a sudden there's a whole bunch. I mean, Isom
3. So I cannot pronounce the character
Sorsa or something like that.
He introduced her in Ripazine 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the little story that he put out. I thought that was good. But yeah, that was released, and then now Zola, whatever.
Zaylan. Yeah. Here's nobody for anybody. He goes,
War
two.
Eric July's trying to put us further into poorhouse.
Right.
we love you, Eric, but man, slow down a little bit. I can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he should delve into the electronic world, and maybe we can buy these electronically.
Right.
Anyway, just saying. So yeah, I guess we did have some Rippaverse news there. And then moving on, Karate Kid Legends.
Yes.
Starring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. Wow.
Yes.
I remember when this was announced and I went, how in the world are they going to do this and make sense?
Yeah.
I watched the trailer this morning and I got to say, I like it.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm excited. I think
I'm going to see if I can share my screen real quick and then get some pictures up on this. So that way we've got it.
There we go.
Yeah. Karate Kid Legend. So anyway, it looks good.
It does look good. I'm impressed. So Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are going to come together to train this new kid in New York City. And I love how in the trailer, well, okay, spoiler alert for the trailer. So if you don't want any spoilers for the trailer, stop now, go watch the trailer and come back. We'll wait.
Yeah.
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
You're so funny.
Right. Anyway, all right. So Jackie Chan shows up at Ralph Macchio's place, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to come to New York and help me train this kid." And he's like,
"Yeah,
I'm not going to New York." And he goes,
"See you there," or something like that.
New York. He's going to New York,
right?
I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I love Jackie Chan. I think Jackie Chan's incredible. So,
yeah, nobody said it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm really, really impressed with the trailer. So, That's one I can't wait for, and I think we'll have to do an episode on that one too.
Okay.
All right. And the last thing I have on my list for geeky news is the one that Steven sent me, and that would be the Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. And this is another one. When it was announced, I went, okay, don't get me wrong. I love Liam Neeson. I watched like all of his movies, and I'm like, what? Liam Neeson's not a comedy guy. How is this going to work?
Right.
And then you sent me the trailer the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks funny. Oh my gosh.
Right.
But the best part of the trailer was the very end.
Yes. So we're not going to talk about that. No, we can if you want. We probably.
So again, spoiler alert for the trailer. If you don't want any spoilers, please pause, go watch the trailer, come back.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the trailer, you have Liam Neeson looking at a picture of oh gosh,
Leslie Nielsen.
yeah,
Or
Leslie
no,
Nielsen
is it?
as Frank Drebin, and he goes, "Dad, I miss you."
Right.
And I
And
was
then he
like,
starts to
"Oh,
cry.
yeah."
And then you see a whole bunch
Right.
of other people are up there like, I miss you too. You know, kind of, I miss you, Dad. Of the whole, you know, the original people in the
Then
first
they
Naked
show
Gun.
OJ's picture and the guy who's playing OJ's son, and he just looks at the camera and goes,
Yeah, right.
"Yeah, right."
Right.
I was like, "That's freaking hilarious, man! I love it."
It was, yeah, it was pretty funny.
So I got to say, I think it's going to be good. I was a big fan of the original Naked Gun series. I love that series, and yeah, I didn't know how Liam Neeson was going to work out as Frank Drebin, but obviously he's Frank Drebin Jr. And
Yeah.
it looks pretty good. I think he's going to be able to pull this off.
Yeah. It's good. It's worth seeing. It kind of threw me off at the beginning because everybody, when the trailer starts off, all these cop cars and like, oh, action and kind of stuff. And you know, I already knew I was clicking on Naked Gun. So it's like, oh, I wonder how they're going to do this. And then it shows this little girl coming in and they're like, stop, little girl. And I'm like, that's weird. And then all of a sudden the little girl comes in and then here it is, kind of like a Mission Impossible moment where he pulls off the mask, but instead of a little girl's head, it's just Liam Neeson's head on this little girl. But then he stands up, you know, and it's just like, oh my goodness.
And then Liam Neeson's wearing this short mini skirt with what little heart under.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my gosh!
I was too afraid to look.
Yeah, but you got to admit that does feel like Naked Gun right there. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of comedy Leslie Nielsen he would like. So
Nobody from anybody says slapstick is not my cup of tea.
Oh,
that's all right.
Dude,
that's all right.
Dude, you should go back and watch a Naked Gun. They're so funny. Great movies. I love those. Leslie Nielsen he was a comic genius. Loved him.
Right.
We lost a great comedian when he passed away. So anyway.
All right. Well then, let's see. Anything you have on anything else on geeky news?
I think that's all I got for the geeky news now.
Okay.
Which was
the radar, sir. What's wrong with it? I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what?
The what?
And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all.
Sorry, I cut you off there because I was like, I clicked
no
it because I thought there'd be a few seconds there.
Now I only have one Geekdar.
Okay.
And my Geekdar you brought up on the show. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Last week or week before, yeah.
And you played the little trailer for me because I didn't know this was coming.
I know it was like a reveal trailer.
Thank you for this too, because I really enjoy this. This is cool.
I have not had a chance to listen to it. Tell me all about it.
Oh my gosh. So this is DC. It's called DC High Volume, and they are starting with Batman Year One, and it is a full-on audio drama. So it's like listen to an old-time radio show is what it is. And man, Batman's a great subject for something of that caliber, in my opinion. And they're taking on Batman Year One first. Let's see, I think I had the cast somewhere. Shoot, I lost it. I had the cast up somewhere. I tried to be ready for this.
Oh no, that's okay. So, but for those who don't know, they're doing it's an audio. So did you listen to it on Apple or
Yes, I listened to it on. Well, no, I listened. My podcast. I have a podcast app called iCatcher. So
okay?
I picked it up on iCatcher. That's where I get all
Okay.
my podcasts. And I got episode 1 and 2 of it, and they're great. They're really really good. They got music, they got sound effects. It's like listening to a radio show, and it's really cool. I would compare it to Big Finish Audio.
Okay. Which
Audio.
does a lot of Doctor Who
Yep.
ones. Yes.
Yeah. Big Finish became big because of Doctor Who. They started with Doctor Who many years ago. They've been doing it for over 2 decades now. But in my opinion, they are the best at it. Nobody tops Big Finish. I mean, Big Finish actually sounds like you are listening to an episode of Doctor Who. That's how good it is. And I would say this is on par with them. Not quite their caliber yet, but man, it's really good. It is really good. So if you're into audio dramas, I highly recommend this. This is really, really good. And so far from what I remember, it's been a long time. I don't think I've ever actually read Year One, but I've watched the animated film. And I may read it because it is available on the DC app. So
I've got Year One, I think.
Do you? I might have it somewhere, but I just don't remember reading it actually. But so far, what I remember of the animated film, it seems to go along with it pretty well. They're following it pretty close. So, if you're a fan of Batman, you like the audio drama stuff, highly, highly recommend this. And I think we might end up doing an episode once it's said and done. So,
nice. Okay. Is it just a continuous series? Did you happen to know anything about that? Like, is it just there's just going to be a new radio drama that's going to keep going, or?
From what I read, it is Batman Year One, then it's going to be The Long Halloween, and then there was a third one.
I thought it was it Long Halloween Part 1 and then Part 2?
No, I think it was something else. I can't remember what the third one was. Whoops.
You're watching the trailer to go over at the very end, right?
Well, I brought up the trailer hoping it would bring up the other stuff.
Right.
I don't know for sure. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go to this link. This might tell me. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere it had said, it may have been on the trailer. Just rewatch the trailer. But I know for sure they're doing Batman Year One, and then they're doing Long Halloween, and then there's a third one. And I don't remember what the third one was. So,
okay, here, let's see. I don't have this done, and I'll get it. I just got to go all the way here. It is Long Halloween Part 1, Part 2.
Okay. Oh, it is to Part 2. Okay. All right, cool. Yep. And Chapter 3 comes out April 9th. So today's April 5th. So that's what, Thursday? No, Tuesday. 6, Sunday, 7, Monday, 8.
There's even a webpage you can go to.
Nice.
Oh, that takes you to the trailer and then takes you to the Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or Spotify.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Yeah. and
Yeah.
it says listen to recent episodes, chapters 1
Each
and 2.
one's, yeah, chapter 1's 34 minutes, chapter 2's 30 minutes, chapter 3 is going to be 24 minutes. So that's manageable. That's not bad.
Yeah, they're not long, so you can listen to them quickly. In fact, I'll probably listen to them a few times.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, watch for that show. That's going to be fun.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And very cool. Oh, here goes. Megan says, Mom said Steven is right. I don't know what that was about, but hey, it's recorded for all posterity. Even Brenda says Steven is right. Just saying.
I have no idea what you're right about, but all right.
Probably that it was the Long Halloween Part 2.
Oh, okay. I wasn't doubting that.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Well, on my radar, Geekdar this week, I watched Wicked with my wife last night. So we were kind of figuring out what to watch, and so, my wife is very tolerant of me because she'll sit and watch stuff that she really doesn't want to watch, but I want to watch it, kind of a thing. And then and I was like, last night I was like, okay, she wanted to watch Wicked or thought that'd be good, and so I was like, all right. So we watched it, and you know what? I actually enjoyed it. I didn't know how I'd feel about it, but I actually enjoyed it. Now, I mean, I like musicals. I'm all for them. There's a great genre of musicals. You can get some great songs out of musicals, and there are a couple of really good ones within the show Wicked. Some very noticeable ones. But I will say this: if you are not a musical person, you probably won't like it because it is a lot of singing in it at the beginning and stuff. And I was just like, okay, this is typical music. I'm not impressed so far. But as it progressed, as it continued, I realized I was more engaged in it. So it actually, and it ended very well. And I know it's only part 1. I know there's a part 2 coming. I get that kind of thing because it is a Broadway show, and kind of thing. But they did a really nice job with it. They have some great singers. The choreography's good. The way they do the story. I know it's based upon a book by Gregory Maguire, but it's different than the book. It's books are more, but it's when they made the musical, I think they cleaned it up a little bit. Just to give a hint, the university they go to is called Shiz University. I giggle every time I say it. I'm so sorry. I'm truly a boy, everybody, because every time I say it.
I think that's on purpose. I think
it is. From my understanding, I've not read the book, but I knew someone that read the book and talked about how it was a little more risque, or kind of, and it is a little darker. Kind of a book, but the musicals was actually pretty good, the way they were telling the story. I'm not, I used to really like, you remember like when Maleficent came out, it's like, oh, here's the background story of this person. So it's what they're trying to do is, I don't know what the word is, but you take the villain and you kind of give them their perspective on things and why they probably became evil, kind of a thing. There was a big one on that. Right. This is the same kind of thing for the Wicked Witch of the West.
Sure.
Kind of
Which
thing.
I'm surprised you like it then.
Because
you've been very vocal about Maleficent.
Yes.
You're not a fan of that.
Yeah.
This surprises me.
I surprised myself openly because I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. And, it's not like, I'm curious on the second part of the Wicked, like Wicked Part 2, to see where it goes, kind of a thing. And I will probably watch it. I probably won't go to the theater. I'll wait, just like I did with this one, Wicked. I wait till it hits streaming. But I was like, okay, this is a little more palpable. This is a little more understanding, kind of a thing. And so, even though it does twist the roles of who thinks good or bad, and I still struggled in the movie with it, to be open with you, about the whole thing that you're making good guys bad guys and bad guys good guys. I still struggled with it, to be open, but I still enjoyed how they were doing it. Kind of, it's hard to say. So yeah, so it was interesting. Interesting.
I saw it in the theaters in December.
Okay.
My wife's a huge Wizard of Oz fan.
Okay.
and she wanted to go see it, so I got us tickets and we
Right.
went and seen it. Unfortunately, or maybe it was fortunately for me, I was not feeling good when I went and seen it, and I
Uh-huh.
had actually taken some medicine just before we went in.
Oh.
I slept through a good portion of the movie.
Oh.
I couldn't stay awake. I had taken some Benadryl. That's what it was, and I could not stay awake for it. Which that's my fault. I should have waited. I should have put off the Benadryl till after the movie because Benadryl
Yeah.
affects me like that. And yeah, I was like, I don't even know what the heck's going on in this movie.
I thought you were about to say you were taking some other kind of medication that helped you really enjoy the movie.
Well, not that we're going to talk about, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Real quick, Megan says Glinda is it Galinda or Glinda? No, I'm just kidding. Has always been the bad guy. That's what that's what Brenda was saying.
That's what
Okay.
Brenda says.
All right.
Which is funny because there is a
Hey, Angie.
hey Angie, there is a short out there somewhere. I think it might have been from Saturday Night Live, but it's something about how Gen Xers feel about the Wizard of Oz. Now, mind you, I grew up with the Wizard of Oz. I like the Wizard of
Yes.
Oz. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong.
Me too.
But this short was hilarious because they have Dorothy and she's talking to Glinda, and that's when Glinda reveals, "Oh, well, you've always had the power to go home. All you had to do is click your heels 3 times." And Dorothy's like, "What? You
Yeah.
What do you mean I've always had the power? And you couldn't have told me this from the beginning." And just going off on Glinda. And it's like, yeah, she kind of is a bit of a, witch.
Mhm. Mhm.
With a B. Just saying. So, yeah. And I guess in a way, Wicked kind of does sort of, take that side.
Right.
Glinda's not actually all that good. She's very selfish. For the parts that I stayed awake for, anyway.
Yeah, and that's kind of how they played it, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's someone else's retelling and stuff, and it is intriguing. And so I had to remove myself realistically from this. Is not what's his name? Carol. Who's the guy who wrote the book Wizard of Oz?
Frank Baum.
Frank Baum. L. Frank Baum. Okay, yeah. It's not his.
I gotta do something.
It's not his universe, if that makes sense, everybody. So I thought, well, okay, if we take it out of that, okay. And technically it's, past the copyright for it anyway. So it's in public domain. So I'm like, all right, make it, maybe it'll be okay. But yeah, I don't know how many books he wrote on the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. The Wizard of Oz is actually a very long story.
Yeah.
If you really get into his books and stuff. I do have a question. So
Sure.
You said you and your wife watched it together.
Yes.
Who held the remote?
I did.
Oh, she let you hold the remote? I'm shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm a little surprised that she was like, no, we're not doing Steven skips during this movie.
Right? Yeah, of course not. I knew better.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Just saying.
Better. That's hilarious.
Angie said it's like Ready Player One. It's a retelling from a different perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Well, like going back in time and stuff. I'm curious how they're going to play out the thing where, the Wicked Witch, they started the film with, oh my goodness, this is like at the end, like ding dong, the witch is dead thing. And
ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is
right.
dead.
And I thought, oh, well, how are they going to play that out? So I'm curious to say if she gets splashed by water, then how are they? What is how does the story handle that with her? I'm
Yeah, what
curious.
is the water thing? What the witch just doesn't like to take a bath? I mean,
I guess so. I mean, she's never taken a bath.
right.
Whoa! You're like, oh, I can smell the witch coming. Wait. Oh, she's 3 miles out still.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, are we what's that? You ready to go to the main event?
I think we're ready for the main event.
Let's do this. It's time for the main event. And all right, everybody. Oh, real quick follow up. Angie goes, that's why she's green. Because she hasn't taken a bath.
Oh, because she hasn't taken a bath. Okay. I was like, why is she green? I missed that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm a little slow, I guess.
I don't know. I'm curious how they play that out. Because, I mean, come on. Even as a baby, they would have gotten her wet or something. And so
I am curious to how that's, hopefully they address that in the second part.
Right.
Because I know I'll be going to see it. So,
yeah.
Brenda's
like, I'd rather keep talking Wicked.
Yeah, she didn't care for this movie. She wasn't a fan.
Yes. Right. Okay, everybody. We are talking Gunpowder Milkshake.
Which is a very unique title, by the way.
Yes, very much so. And so we I think the biggest thing about Gunpowder Milkshake is it's a unique film. It's not a perfect film, but we watched it in perspective of with the advent of her being in Doctor Who, Karen Gillan being in Doctor Who, then also being in Avengers and Jumanji. Yes, we thought, okay, because there was that one scene in Jumanji where she was really fighting and stuff like that. And I thought, okay. And so I said, well, here's the latest one since then. And I thought this would be interesting to see her, how she would do with, could she be, based upon these action sequences and these things, could she make a good Mara Jade? And that's kind of what we're discussing today. Is kind
right.
of
It's not so much. I mean, we'll give our review of the movie, of course, but the idea of watching this film was how well would Karen do as Mara Jade if Lucasfilms decided to cast her, right? Which I still think she'd be an excellent Mara Jade. Excellent, yes, excellent.
I agree. I think she'd be a great Mara Jade. So, I really enjoy spy movies or assassin movies or those kinds of things. So that's just one I really liked it. As you can see, everybody, IMDb, people gave it 6.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 60%. Metacritic, 47%. But you had an incredible cast. You had Karen Gillan as Sam, Freya Allen. I think she did it as she was Little Sam, like the younger Sam. Now, for those who may know, Freya Allen plays Ciri in the Witcher series. And she was also in the latest Apes movie, the Planet of the Apes movie, I think, too.
Oh, okay. I think that was Battle. Was it Battle for the Planet? I don't remember what.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I liked the Planet of the Apes movie. It was good.
Yep. Lena Headey, those who may know, she's really big in Game of Thrones. She was also in Judge Dredd, the latest Judge Dredd with Carl Urban. Carla Gugino, she's been a lot of stuff. First time I saw her was in the Spy Kids movie. She played the mom in the first Spy Kids movies.
I loved Spy Kids.
Yeah. She was in that. She's also been in some The Fall of the House of Usher, which I have not seen yet. I want to. The Three Geeky Dads talked about it, and it's on my list to watch. Okay. The Netflix series. She was in it. So Michelle Yeoh is in it. That's from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all kinds of other things. That's when I first saw her. But she's been in a whole bunch of stuff. Angela Bassett was in it. And so there was a lot of good actresses that were in it.
Go back to Angela Bassett for a second.
Yeah.
So I got a kick out of her name, her character's name, Anna May.
Anime.
Anime.
Okay. Okay.
I thought that
Who else was in it? There's one other person in it. What's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Oh, I don't want that. Sorry. It was. Come on. There it is. Paul Giamatti. That's the other name.
Yes.
He was good. So anyway, needless to say, it was a fun film. Nothing too spectacular. It was unique, and I think who said it? Yes, Brenda said unique is a word for it.
It's very sucker punch to me.
Very sucker punches. Yes. Hey, Megan, welcome back.
Yeah.
Megan just got back from the doctor.
Yay. And so then Angie said, I need to see this. We watched it because of Karen Gillan. Here's Brenda's score. I give it a 5, and the other ladies were bad mamalitas. I was mad Madeline died. Oh, spoilers. Sorry about that, everybody. Madeline died, but it was defending Emily. I wouldn't watch it again. Okay, yes. I was at Carla
See,
Gugino's
she
character,
says she doesn't like it, but I think she did.
Gotcha.
I think she likes it more than she wants to let on. She did.
Yeah, Angie said I love Spy Kids. Yeah, I love Spy Kids.
Spy Kids was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
Snap! But
It's been years since I watched Spy Kids.
Yeah, and then Sucker Punch. I enjoyed Sucker Punch because I like the visual side of things. Sucker Punch. So
I've never seen Sucker Punch.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It's Zack Snyder. So you're going to get a visual feast, but not a great story.
I love it.
But it is good. It's fun. I mean, I love his style. I really enjoy his style. I loved him for. I enjoyed Zack Snyder's the Justice League. It had that style to it. I enjoyed Rebel Moon. I know some people didn't, but I enjoyed it and stuff because I like his visual style. This is kind of reminiscent of that, not quite, but it is reminiscent of that.
Gotcha. I couldn't get into Rebel Moon. I don't know. It just wasn't great to me. I do like Justice League. I like the extended cut or whatever. Although I wished he would not have changed the proportions of the filming. I don't understand that choice. That just didn't make sense. Making it TV format over movie format.
Widescreen.
I don't get it. Why in the heck would you do that? But other than that, I think that was a much more betterer version of the film.
Cheers. Yes, I totally agree.
I like that. I like his Superman. I don't care what anyone says. Man of Steel, I think, is a great film.
Mm-hmm.
Fight me. That's all I got to say.
So I am going to go watch the new Superman when it comes out.
Oh, well, definitely.
We're definitely going to have a good time doing that one, everybody. We're going to put that on our list.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We did mention the extended cut of the Superman trailer.
No, we did not.
We didn't? I thought we mentioned it. Okay.
We talked about it before the show saying we were going to mention it, but now we probably should.
We forgot it. So sorry, I missed that. There was also the extended cut of Superman trailer, and I have to admit, it looks pretty good. Just like I said in the Escape Pod group, I'm not getting my hopes up too high because I still don't think James Gunn is our DC savior yet.
Right.
Love the Man of Steel. Thank you. Nobody for anybody. Yes.
We both love Man of Steel. Yes. I don't know why people poo-pooed on it so much, but I loved it.
They say it's a dark film, and they didn't like the fact that he killed Zod. And get over it. Just get over it.
Right. That was the whole storytelling of it. He gave him no choice. He had to make a decision.
He had to make a decision, and he chose civilians over Zod. I don't see a problem with this. And And if you go in Superman's history, he has killed before, but it's not like I'm gonna go kill. You know, it's there's a
Mhm.
purpose, there's a reason. It's usually for justice. After all, he's truth, justice, and the American way. So
Yeah.
you know, tough. I think Man of Steel is a great film. I enjoy it. Anyway,
Mhm.
but we're not talking about Man of Steel. Sorry.
That's
Went
all
off
right.
on a tangent, saw a rabbit, so on and so forth. So let's get back to
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake, which I
If
still
you
think is a hilarious title.
Right. If you have not seen the movie, everybody, pretty much it's the story of a young girl whose mom is an assassin who has to leave her behind with the head of the assassin club or group or whatever, which I thought was kind of weird. But and so she grows up, and so now she's, when I say grow up, she's probably in her 20s, kind of a thing, and she's like, now she is an assassin. She followed in her mom's footsteps, and so then gets goes in to do a job, only to find out there was probably somebody high up in a mafia chain or something like that killed the son. And so then the contracts were all put on her, very John Wickish. But this was
thinking.
Very John Wickish. And then, but a different, unique kind of a way.
Right.
And it wasn't, you didn't have that whole gun kata stuff going on all the time. It was just all kinds of hand fights, and there was still gunplay and stuff like that.
Say, there's a lot of guns in this.
There are a lot of guns. I'm not saying that John Wick was mostly with guns. So no, he still had some hand fights and stuff like that. But the kill count in John Wick is much more than this movie.
Well,
but
John
everything
Wick's John Wick, so
right.
That's Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves is going to kill some people in his movies.
Right. Yeah. So, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the interaction with the characters and stuff. Some some people overplayed their parts, but I think it was meant to be a little comic book-ish as well. But I'd give it a good solid 7 out of 10. It was fun. And I watched it again. I was willing to watch it again. But she goes through, she protects this girl. She accidentally kills his dad, or doesn't really, well, the job was on him. And then, but anyway, so then just hijinks ensue because that's just how these movies roll, and just what are clever ways that people get shot or killed, or how long can you make a fight last and stuff. But all of that was to help infer, do we think Karen Gillan could make a good Mara Jade?
Right.
So 7 out of 10 is my score. 7 out of 10 milkshakes.
Okay. Brenda wanted us to give something else other than milkshakes, and I forgot what she said she wanted. Gosh, because she's like, "What are you guys going to use for a scale?" I said, "Well, I figure we'll use milkshakes," and she says, "That's too on the nose."
Oh, okay.
She had something else.
She said the books.
The books.
Library
books.
books.
The library books. That was what she said.
Library 7 out of 10 library books.
Right. Which I have to say, I want to find that library.
Right.
That was.
I just want to find. Awesome. So if you haven't seen the movie, everybody, they go to the library, which is where the home is of another assassin ladies group club that her mom Karen Gillan's character's mom used to be in,
right?
And or disappeared with them as well. And so how shall I say, you go in the library, in certain areas in the library, you would find a book that when you open it, it's all hollowed out, and inside is something. There were guns, knives, money. I want that book.
I want all of them.
Right?
I like guns, I like knives, and I like money. So
yeah, it was a great library. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Yeah. And he had a great fight sequence stuff in the library. It was just great. It was a lot of fun.
The library scene I really enjoyed. I thought that was fun, especially when she's like, "Oh, she needs this book, and she needs this book, and she needs this book," and she's opening them up, and there's these guns in them, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I want these library books. That's awesome."
Yeah, Brenda says the gold bar. Yeah, I would like that. Agreed. That was the one scene in the whole movie that I was like, that's so unrealistic. That kicked me out because I'm like, there's no way you can wield a gold bar that size with one hand.
Right.
I don't know, but it was still fun. So
Well,
it was like,
I think there's a lot of things you have to turn your brain off for this movie. Don't
right,
you know,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
But it sounds like a good time. All it needs
It was
is
wine. That's right, by golly.
right. I think I too would give it 7 library books. Maybe 3.5 library books and 3.5 milkshakes. How's that?
Right on.
Totally in a 7. I think it's a fun movie. It's a fun watch. And I do like Karen Gillan. I think she's a great actress. I think she is turning into somewhat of an action star.
Mhm.
And she's good. She does it well. And I think this movie shows her strength that she could play Mara Jade, which is the real reason we watched this film.
Mhm.
And because like you said, we've seen her as Nebulous in Marvel, and we've seen her. I don't remember what her character's name is in
Jumanji. Yeah, but in Jumanji, yeah.
but she almost looks like Tomb Raider, Laura Croft in Jumanji. She's got kind of that.
Oh, she sure does. I didn't think about that. Yeah, she
I
does.
think that's what they were going for too. Yeah, she's not quite Laura Croft level yet.
Right, not quite.
Laura Croft was amazing.
I still think her character in this was more or less just the human version of Nebula.
I think that's fair.
Oh,
Still very.
you talking about in Gunpowder Milkshake?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Because she was still very
yes.
cold and calculated.
Cold and calculated. Still had that voice, that grumble voice, kind of, kind of a thing.
Maybe she's channeling her inner Nebula for this film. Who knows?
Possibly.
Now there was a scene in this film that actually made me want another movie, just because she looked the part, and I thought it would work out great.
Uh-huh.
But it's the scene where she's got the hat on and she's kind of in the shadows, and she looks just like Carmen Sandiego.
That's funny.
I have never watched Carmen Sandiego, but when I seen her like that, I was like, I kind of want a movie with her as Carmen Sandiego, because she just fit it perfectly. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Why hasn't anyone thought of this?
Right.
Karen Gillan needs to play Carmen Sandiego. So I had that thought. I had a proud dad moment during the movie.
Okay.
Because when the ladies are all standing there in the library and they're getting ready to fight and everything,
Yeah,
and they're holding their guns, Megan goes, "Dad, did you see?" I was like, "See what?" And I actually did a Steven rewind, because we're making this a thing, by the way. Oh,
yep.
Sorry, somebody was calling me. I have no idea who's calling me. Anyway, and it was coming through my MacBook.
That's funny.
Oh,
go ahead.
Could you hear it ringing?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was like, oh, is it time already? No, we still got 10 minutes.
I apologize in the audio podcast.
It might be doctor's stuff. Because you put your phone number.
No, I didn't. Your mother did. Well, anyway, whole other thing. Anyway, so proud dad moment. Megan's like, "Did you see Dad?" And I said, "No." Chow. When she's holding her gun, she actually has her finger off the trigger.
No, that's Angela Bassett.
Oh, it was Angela. Okay.
Angela Bassett had her finger off the trigger.
She had her finger off the trigger.
I said you can tell that she plays a cop,
right?
Because she's her pretty much most well known role right now is 911. which I'm obsessed with.
So she was practicing proper gun safety.
Yeah.
You only put your finger on the trigger when you plan on shooting and killing and destroying whatever's in front of you. And that's
Correct.
the time you have your finger on the trigger. So
Yes.
as an avid gun person, I look highly upon films that advocate to that. So
Yes.
I was impressed in Megan catching that because I didn't catch it, and then I was
Nice job, Megan.
yes, and I was impressed that they practiced it in the film. So
Yeah.
good job using
Yep.
proper gun safety.
Yep.
Unlike other films out there.
Right.
Although Megan did bring it up. Well, now she's got her finger on the trigger. I said, yeah, but now she's pointing to kill at that point. So she's still following the rules.
Correct. That is correct. That's funny.
What did you think of the little girl?
It's okay. It was all right.
I thought it was funny. I liked the scene with Karen and her driving the Porsche, her Porsche.
Oh,
That was pretty darn funny. And
Yeah.
Karen has no control over her arms, and she's like, "I need you to steer." What did she say? I need you to steer, and I forget what else. And she goes, "Oh, so you want me to do all the hard part
right.
while I control the pedals?"
She was in. I was trying to figure out what else she had been in. She was in My Spy. So that's the one with what's his name? He played
My Spy.
Oh my gosh, what's his name? Dave Bautista. Gosh, took me a minute.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's two movies. I like the first one. I only made it halfway through the second one, and then she was in the movie with Adam. Do what?
I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's
Anyway.
been like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So on that one, so yeah, I was trying to remember who she
Did
was.
she say I'm 9.5 or 9 3/4 or something like that?
Yeah, 9 3/4.
8 3/4. 8 3/4.
Yeah.
Just remember, your life was spared because of an 8-year-old. 8 3/4. Oh,
Right.
8 quarters.
Yeah.
She's in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was Karen.
Okay. Okay, cool.
She was?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it when
Little girl with the Emily.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I liked it when the mom says, who is this? Am I a grandma? And the little girl looks at her and says, no, I'm her apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what?
What? Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny. I enjoyed
it was.
that.
So is there so let's tackle this Mara Jade, because we've been talking about the movie. We really haven't talked about Mara Jade. So for those that may not know, Mara Jade is one of our favorite characters in the Star Wars Legends canon. I'm going to say Legends canon to confuse people. It's not actual Disney canon, but Legends canon. And she's a great character. And we've talked about her before. We even did our own fan fiction thing that we have on our Ko-fi page. If anybody's interested in that, seeing that.
Yep.
We really just love that character. And so we thought, if they brought her into the Star Wars world, into the Disney canon, that's just a great fan. I mean, come on, you brought in Thrawn. So
Mara Jade was created by Timothy Zahn in the Heir to the Empire trilogy originally, which came out in 1991, 2-ish, somewhere around there, or maybe 90, somewhere in the early 90s. Mara Jade was originally, according to the novels, she was the Emperor's secret assassin, known as the Emperor's Hand. She witnessed when Luke fights Vader in front of the Emperor and quote unquote kills Vader, or at least she thinks he kills, or when Vader kills the Emperor and then I think she thinks he kills Vader too, or something like that. It's been a while since I read the novels. Anyway, so she hates Luke Skywalker because of this, hates him with a passion, because basically her entire life falls apart because she can't really go on in the Empire because nobody knows who she is. She is hidden from everybody else because she's the Emperor's secret apprentice. So she hates Luke with a passion, and Luke and her, by fate, meet up. And
I'm sorry,
that comes 2 novels later. Or maybe 3. Anyway, that comes a little bit later. But yes, that does happen. They do hook up eventually. And they do become a couple. They do get married. So but yeah, Mara Jade, ever since she was introduced, I was fascinated with this character. I think she is one of Star Wars' best female role models. Everyone says that Star Wars doesn't have good female role models, and I disagree with that, especially with Mara Jade. I think Mara Jade's fantastic, and I've wanted to see Mara Jade being brought into the new Disney or the Disney portion of Star Wars for a long time. Of course, now with the way Disney has taken Star Wars, I'm not sure I want to see her in it.
Right.
Because I'm afraid they're going to mess her up. And there's part of me that just says, leave her where she's at. Don't touch her. So maybe if they can get the casting right, and I'm not sure how they're going to go with the story, because obviously she can't meet Luke Skywalker and become Luke's wife. They've already written in canon where Luke goes. So that can't happen. So I'm not sure where they would take her. But if you're going to do her, at least try and live up to her legacy that Timothy Zahn created. That's all I ask. Yeah. And I think Karen Gillan would be a good choice for her, seeing how she has done these action films in the past. I think she could pull off Mara Jade, so there's my 2 cents.
There's your 2 cents. Well, we got to see her do action stuff, action sequences. We got to see her with guns. We haven't
seen her with swords yet.
Have not seen her with swords yet.
Yeah,
that's true.
But she can be trained for that.
You're right. Well, once somebody does a movie with that or something, someone's going to redo it and rotoscope that sword and make it a lightsaber.
Oh, you darn right they will.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah. It would be great. So this, I think, introducing her to the Star Wars universe would be just incredible. And then having Karen Gillan play her, I could do that. If they pick someone else, I'd be curious, how they do that and why they do that kind of a thing. But I know a lot of fans speculate that's their choice just because of her sci-fi background, Doctor Who and all these others, and then being able to do that. So,
and she's ginger.
Yes.
Which is important in my opinion, because, the original character was a ginger, so I think that's another reason. So, Karen Gillan is my choice.
Yep, mine as well.
I would love to know what other people's choices would be for casting of Mara Jade. If you got somebody else in mind, let us know, and maybe we'll go and watch a movie with that actress too, and see what we think. Who knows? Maybe you could change our minds.
Maybe not.
I'm pretty solid on her as a choice, but I mean, if you can give me a good argument on another actress, I'm willing to discuss it.
Right. Very good.
I can tell you who I think would be a bad choice, and that's the one that's rumored that Disney is going going to cast. So,
Oh, who's that?
What's her face? Who's been in Spider-Man and like everything lately? Zendaya.
Oh gosh, that's not a good choice.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good choice at all.
That's not a good choice.
I think it's a terrible choice, but that's the rumor that's who Disney's going for. And I don't know if it's just rumor and that's because she's kind of been in everything. And I think that's part of the reason not to have her
I would agree.
play. Plus I just don't think she fits the casting, in my opinion. Not saying anything bad about her, just saying I don't think she fits. I don't think she fits the part. I think Karen fits the part better.
Yes.
Much
more betterer. Cheers, everybody.
I got it in. Yay.
Well done. All right. Well, everybody, we are now up at the hour, so very excited.
And you thought we didn't have enough to talk about today.
I was worried. I was worried a little bit, kind of a thing. So yes, that's why we had all that geekdar and stuff like that. But actually, it turned out really well. So, hey everybody, please check out our website at www.twogeeksmic.com. That's the number 2 GEEKSMIC.com. There you'll find our hub for everything. You get to everything from that one location if you're curious. You can even listen to the podcast on that page. You can also get to our merch page where we've got some fun merch on there, or if you just want to go straight to the merch page, then that is just www.twogeeksmicmerch.com. So we have that. That'll take you directly to our merch page as well. If you want to connect with us, you can go ahead and go to show@twogeeksmic.com. You can send us an email. Mike actually watches, as we talked about last week, he watches that email more than his own email. So just saying. So
I do have my personal email straightened out now where I'm actually getting it.
Oh gosh. But even off of our website, everybody, you can also go to our Ko-fi page. The link is there. Or you can go to ko-fi.com/2geeks and you can buy us a coffee or become a subscriber. We have a $1 plan, $2 plan, $3 plan, and all that goes just to help us pay for just the streaming service, our podcast service, which is Podbean, and all the other frills and stuff that we're doing. And you can also find on there,
shameless
plug, Mike did the audiobook for his book, The Immortality Code. It is priced at, when you go to the site, well, here, I'll probably just need to bring that up real quick. Let me just try to do that real quick. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me put it up here. Let me bring that up, because what we did was, since he couldn't get it on Audible, and if you want to tell that story real quick.
Oh my gosh. So I had been trying for months to get it on Audible, jumping through all their hoops and everything. Well, I should say it's not all Audible. It's a company called ACX. Yes, I'm calling them out. So you have to go through ACX to get through Audible, and then you get your audiobook on both Audible and on Apple Books.
Yeah.
And you have to go through all these checks and everything. And I put my book through the checks. It didn't fit the audio requirements. I fixed the audio requirements. It went through the checks at that point. And then I waited, 3 weeks. And got no information on whether it was getting released or what was going on. Right. Finally reached out to them, and they're like, "Oh, well, you used AI for your voice. We don't like you using AI." So basically, what they wanted was for me to pay a human, and specifically not just any human, but their humans. You know? Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, I see how you're playing this. Forget you. I have a platform. It may not be as big as Audible. Yes, we're not the largest book sales on the planet, but hey, we have our own platform." So I said, "Screw it, I'll put it on our own platform," and here we are.
Yep. Yeah. If you want to buy a coffee for us, you can do it at $2 just to buy a coffee. But if you go to the shop It's $4.99. Excuse me, $4.99 or more. So if you want to help support, you can pay that, but it's $4.99 to help for that. We've already sold a couple of them as well. So, but it's the audiobook version of the Immortality Code. So we've got some information in there as well about it. And but that's our Ko-fi page. If you've never seen it, here's kind of a peek of the page. And so we really appreciate the support that everybody's given us. It really does help us out.
Wasn't as big back then.
No, right? Oh yeah, I'm wearing the same hat though. I'm wearing my Indiana Jones hat.
I got a St. Louis Battlehawks instead of the St. Louis.
Right. Nice. So yeah, and we're going to have more stuff up on the page too. We're kind of excited about using it a little bit more as well. So, all right. I think that's gotten most of everything in there. Mike, do you have anything else you want to chit chat about?
Just that if you've made it this far, please make sure and go and give us a like and subscribe on all of our socials, such as YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, or X, whatever. I hardly post anything on X, so if you follow us on YouTube, make sure and give us a thumbs up over there, and on Rumble, make sure and give us a thumbs up over there. And then Facebook, I try to post funny memes or information about upcoming shows such as this one. And when we go live, and speaking of going live, we go live every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do the math on the rest, and I think that's all I got.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining us on today's show. Mike, I guess I'll let you sign us out.
All right. So with that said, please make sure and do not Steven skip this episode like he didn't Steven skip during Wicked. And remember, we are much more better than the rest. Cheers. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,